have a network of high street branches? Is it that we have the use of over 6,000 link cash machines? Or is it that we promise never to invest our customers' money in companies that needlessly pollute the environment?
Do you love anyone enough to give them your last roller? Soft golden toffee in a milk chocolate cup.
Why does Anchor butter taste great?
We've got sunshine on a cloudy day, and all year round we've got the month of May. Oh, nature knows like nature should what makes Anchor taste so good. Our all year round we eat green grass. Anchor butter.
I'm Sadie.
I'm Darren. I go out with a lovely girl called Billy.
I'm Billy.
I hate
The lads.
flowery dresses. I like chicks with long hair.
Chicks.
Birds, babes, women.
I've got a very good man who takes care of me. I have some pet frogs.
Frisian cows. I've got a pigeon chest. Spots round here.
On my forehead, my nose.
Don't worry about it. Just oxycute them. Oxy 10.
Spots? Oxycute 'em with Oxy 10.
I just use Oxyten.
All right.
Sally and I not only train together, we tend to eat on the run too. She cooks and I chop. For a simple healthy lunch, we like to use corn in a stir fry. Corn's vegetable in origin, it's very low in fat and a good source of protein. It tastes great. And there's nothing artificial about it. Perhaps I need a bit more training with my chopsticks.
Corn, a happy partnership of taste and health.
Hi. In the time-honoured tradition of killer creature flicks like The Swarm, Piranha and Arachnophobia comes Ticks, a creepy-crawly, crunchy movie about the perils of messing with nature. And what better victims for this postulating pestilence than a bunch of dysfunctional teenagers on vacation with the Inner City Wilderness Club. Holly and Charles are the team leaders, determined to give their unlucky charges a chance to get away from it all. And they really couldn't have picked a more savoury spot. Miles from anywhere, totally isolated, and teeming with monster ticks.
Well, Melissa got attacked by some big bug or something. Can we go home?
Well, we are out in the wilderness, you know.
No, I know, but this wasn't your average wilderness bug, okay? It was
no, wait, this thing was like glued to my back or something. It was gross, it was all slimy. It was like a...
Like a big snot.
Oh, come on, you're making me ill. Just don't touch it if you don't know what it is. Don't touch it, it attacked me. Oh, come on, guys, bugs don't attack unless they're aggravated.
Great, classic story. The adults not believing the kids. Thanks.
Naturally, the grown-ups are having none of this. But when a pet dog dies in highly mysterious circumstances, Charles begins to suspect that something might be amiss and takes it along to the local vet for an autopsy.
Where the hell did you people come from? Close the door! I can't hear that!
It transpires that the local farmers have been using growth accelerators for their marijuana plants, and the poor old wood ticks got zapped in the process. But hey, the kids are okay. In fact, everyone returns to the city much richer for their life-affirming experience. Didacticism doesn't come much worse than this. And now, gremlins be gone, because it's time for this week's Top 10 chart.
the beautiful bride.
Al, that's him.
This place has given us a life. I'm somebody. I'm special.
It's like 26 states. Between here and there, now that's a sign.
Whose side are you on anyway?
Yours. Just do it. This time I go first.
Like nobody's
Listen.
Mess with my kids, I'll show you irrational. Get out!
Get out on your team! Right now!
Having chatted to both Gambit and Steed recently about both new and old Avengers, we decided it was high time that the glamorous side of the partnership got a bit of a look in. Cue Linda Thorson, the third Avengers girl, and the one they perhaps unfairly call the Forgotten Avenger. Rig, an unbearably hard act to follow, or had the old-style Avengers simply run its course? I caught up with Linda Thorson at the Museum of the Moving Image on London's South Bank. First of all, Linda, I just wondered if you were kind of filled with trepidation when you were offered the part in the Avengers, because Honor Blackman and Diana Rigg must have been quite hard acts to follow, really.
Actually, your voice is rather like Honor's.
People say that, funnily enough.
Great voice.
Thank you.
Well, in fact, ignorance was bliss, because I had no idea. I was a starving student with no telly, and so I hadn't seen the Avengers. I'd heard that it was a program with a man with a bowler hat and an umbrella and a girl who did judo and karate. But then I was very trepidatious for about a year, because we filmed 8 episodes before it went on the air. So at that point I had no idea whether I'd be acceptable, and I actually got letters saying, "You don't contemplate. I mean, how could you ever think you could replicate the part of Emma Peel? I mean, take her place." And so then I was nervous, and I was very pleased when it went on and people thought I was okay.
Turn around. I don't like to see the eyes.
So how did you go about creating Tara? Because she was obviously a completely new character for the series.
She was a new character, and I think it was worrying for Patrick, which I was perceptive about that, in as much as anyone is perceptive at the age of 20. And I thought that he imagined he would have to adapt to this sort of avuncular air, because I was so young, and I'd been chosen as the youngest girl. And so I thought, well, I'll do what I would do, which is, if it was my first job and I'd been trained by Mother and I went out to apprentice and my boss, I answered to John Steed, I'd be in love with him. So I played Tara as if she was in love with John Steed, and Patrick quite liked that, and then it all worked out rather well.
I bet it did quite like that. Her whole look and everything, because obviously the other two had, you know, particular looks of their own. Did you get involved in the whole thing?
Well, I mean, you know, you remember I was 20 years old and I didn't really know how to get involved.
You're thrilled to have a job, probably.
I was thrilled to have a job. I was absolutely chuffed. And they chose me from 200 girls and then changed everything about me. So, in other words, instead of choosing a very lean blonde, they chose me, who was a rather softic brunette, and then changed me to sent me to a health farm to lose weight, changed my hair, peroxided it blonde and all sorts of things. And then they wanted me to be sort of pink and frou-frou and have a brick in my handbag, which I hit chaps with as opposed to sort of stunning them with judo and karate blows. And so after they had confidence in the fact that I wouldn't be too like Diana, they reverted and they let me go back to my own hair colour and go. So my input was really that I was Miss, because I thought, hello chaps, wouldn't it be better if it was Miss Tara King, who stayed overnight maybe and made John Steed's tea in the morning.
Especially if you were going to flirt with Steed, really.
You know, as opposed to perhaps having a husband in Africa, as Emma Peel, Diana Rigg did. It turned out that he turned up and was very witty, you know, had his Bentley and his bowler hat and umbrella. And then I wanted to be Tara from my favourite film, Gone with the Wind. So I had that input, and then King was King and Country. I loved it, and I still like the name. So I had that input, but very little else.
Now, Tara, I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to lock you away until it's all over. What was it? A valuable property to be protected?
But that's ridiculous, Steed. I can help you.
You'd be a hindrance. Now, I'd be worrying about you, get us both killed. Please, come on.
I'm sorry. But it was a very good vintage.
And in our first competition tonight, we've got Avengers Volumes 11 and 12, the Tara King episodes, to give away. And there's a fabulous Avengers box set and polo shirt for the winner. If you can tell me which female Avenger also played Pussy Galore. Was it A, Linda Thorson, B, Diana Rigg, or C, Honor Blackman? Phone in on 0891 66 5566 for a date with the Avengers. In last week's competition,